Warning, this episode contains explicit language. Lord BENTOS is not a medical professional, or any kind of professional for that matter. Anything he says or does is for entertainment value only. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Let's do this! You are watching The Land of Bentosia with Lord BENTOS. What you guys think of the week? September 22nd, 2024. We have a party. Alright, let's click out of some things here. Actually, real quick, I'm also watching Kansas City's at Atlanta Falcons right now. All right, it's on commercial, so I can't tell you the score, but I think the Chiefs were up last time I checked. How are you? How was your week? What did you do? What did you say? What did you learn? Was it a rough one? Was it a fun one? Did you get a raise? Promotion? Did you get laid? Did someone break up with you? Did you travel? Did you stay at home? What did you do? All right. Game is back on. We got a replay happening. Okay, 22-17, a minute 55 left to go. Oh, okay, so we were at the 2-minute warning. Chiefs Atlanta has the ball. 2nd and 10. Anything and everything can happen. They have an opportunity here to take the lead back. The Chiefs didn't start out okay, but then warmed up and it started getting better. And now they have an opportunity to win, but not until the Falcons get their first down. So now it's 3rd and 10. There was a flag that just got thrown against Watson. It's looking up at the screen. It's like, well, I didn't do shit. Crazy week of football. Crazy week. I wanted to record on Saturday. I was tired. In fact, I went to bed early, but I went to bed early for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is I was tired. Reason number 2 is I had a race early in the morning. For some reason, I thought I started at what do you call it? Oh, that penalty flag gave him a first down. For some reason, the race started at, for some reason, I thought the race started at 7. But nope. I looked up the details the night before the race, of course. Me being such a good prepper. And saw that the race actually started at 6, realizing, and it's like a 30-minute drive from here. So I was like, oh, damn, I have to wake up. My alarm went off at 3. I didn't actually get out of bed until 3:30. But I did shower the night before, so I was like, okay, I don't have to get ready that bad. And we got a minute left on the clock. And And I did better than last year. Last year, I think I was running like 13 minutes a mile, 13 minutes and change a mile. And this time I ran at 12 minutes and change a mile. Fun stuff. And that's with minimum training. By minimum training, let me see, what did I do to train? I ran 5K during the week. And I did 3 or 2 Peloton sessions. No, 3. I did 3 Peloton sessions before that. So, yeah, I was in the zone. Chitty zone. I wanted to try... Did they get stopped? Ooh, they got like a yard left, but I don't know what down they're at. It doesn't... We're at 54 seconds. They spotted the ball like half a yard away from first down. Atlanta has the ball. It's 4th and inches. They're gonna have to go for it. I mean, they need a win, right? Yeah, I went out of state this week. Left Tuesday, came back Friday. Had a work thing going on. And that was fun, but it was work. So as much as fun as I wanted to have, I did have to work. But the good thing is that my girlfriend came along with me. So that was cool. Actually, it made the experience better. And we got to hang out for, before and after work. And Thursday night, I got to watch the New York Jets. Now, my intent was to go and find a bar that was showing the game. Did they stop him? Let me see. I think they stopped him. Wow. That's it. The Chiefs got it. They win Sunday Night Football. So the intent was, hey, let's go watch a Jets game after work. Thursday night. Got ready. Victory formation. There you go. Bro, just kneel down already, fool. And we found that a lot of bars actually weren't showing Thursday Night Football because of the whole Amazon thing. One bartender was telling us that I guess they started cracking down on the game, bars showing Thursday Night Football without a proper license. And so,
Papa?
Yes, papi?
Mama, Mimi.
Yes, papa, go mimis.
No.
I'm gonna join you in a little bit, okay?
No, Papa.
Okay, love you, give me a kiss. And we didn't get to watch the Patriots Jets on the regular TV, so I pulled out my phone, signed in, and streamed it over dinner. And it was it wasn't perfect, but I got to enjoy the New York Jets play against the Patriots. The Patriots finally suck. And now it's our turn to demolish these bastards to the point where, well, you know, too many points. How about that? But no longer are the days here where the Patriots' main goal was to destroy the Jets. We're in the new era, baby. We're in the Aaron Rodgers era, baby. It feels so good. I was so happy. It was the type of win that I wanted to have. And saw Colin Hurd. I think that's his name. And be like, bro, you just beat the Patriots, the worst team in the league. I'm like, you know what, Colin, you can suck my dick. This is our win. And we're going to strive for that all the time. Damn, I'm gonna have to go mining because I need... Do I have any? Yep. Alright, let's go mine. Yeah, Thursday night football's over. Another day where I spend 12 hours or whatever it is watching football. Let me see. 10 hours. I started watching at 10. It's 8:22 p.m. right now. And I watched football. In the morning, I had my race. It was a 9-mile race. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Last year, I remember the last 2 miles, I was like dying, absolutely dying, waiting for the dumb race to end. And this time, I felt like I still had energy after the fact. Oh, damn, there's a creeper there. And that made me feel good. I guess the few hours of Peloton and the 5K. That's my planning for it. Was a 9.3 mile race. My planning was to run the 5K. That's good enough training. I feel like if I would have properly trained for it, I would have gotten like a really good time. But the real goal that I had was not so much to get like a stellar time, but to get a faster win than last year. And I did. So I feel good. During the race, there was I swear he must have been like 8 feet tall. Tallest man I've seen. And he was old. I'm guessing he was like in his 70s, 80s? No, maybe not 80s. He was wearing a t-shirt. Oh yeah, I can't go here. He was wearing a t-shirt that said, no drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco. Live to 100 or something like that. So it sounds like he's on a mission to live to 100 years old. Good for him. But the thing that really stood out with this guy was that he was not running. So I was running at my average pace was like 12 minutes and change. He must have been walking at a pace of maybe 13 minutes a mile. And that is really fast walking because he kept that same consistent pace throughout the entire thing. So going up hills, I would walk the hills. And so would he. But he would beat me. Like I was walking maybe like 15 minutes a mile uphill. He was keeping up with the 13 minutes a mile walk. I was astounded, like, holy crap. And so it was funny because if you see like a person walking and run or jogging and struggling to breathe, they're like and then there's this giant man next to you, like just destroying all the slow runners. It was actually really encouraging to see, because it made me feel like I can be old and still be out there and competitive, right? Maybe I'll slow down to a walk, but I don't know. This guy had very long legs already to begin with, so he already has an advantage. I feel like I'm gonna have to run no matter what, just to stay and just to not be last. This run did make me feel like I'm not so out of shape, and I can continue now that I've done 3 Pelotons, 1 5K, 1 9 miler. I can now, okay, I think I'm gonna start just going down here because I'm coming across dirt and shit. I feel like I can now start running regularly like I used to. I used to run every day. I even did like this personal challenge to run every day for a whole year. And I don't know, I don't want to, hi puppy. I don't want to run every day for a whole year again. I already beat that challenge. But I do want to go for long periods of time running and increase my mileage. I have other running goals. So the most miles I've run in a day is 50 miles now, and that was personal. Like I created a loop, multiple loops around my home, 10-mile loops. And after each 10 mile, I would stop by at the house and refill on water, eat, drink, get all my energy gels and things like that. So it was considered self-supported, but with the comfort of my home. And there was this one time where I kind of spent like 15 minutes at home. I think that was the most time I spent at home. And it was around like the 30-40 mile mark. I forget which one. I'd have to look it up. And I was proud of that. That was fun. I did it. Ran 50. That was like a goal that I really wanted to reach. Run 50 miles. I've never ran 50 miles in a race setting. It's a lot different when you're in a race setting. Yes, it's competitive and you have people around you to support you and use as pacers, but it's not I would say it's not as, it's harder because you can't just rest on your home, you know. You don't have your own restroom. You're out in the wilderness. Sometimes you get lucky and you find a porta potty. So that's the other thing. You really have to make sure like you get rid of all your crap in the morning, early in the morning, sit on the toilet and just try and get it all out. You have to be really careful about your diet too, because you don't want to get like overly fibery, because then that urge as you're running, your body heats up. And when your body warms up that way, it's like, oh, I'm in the perfect condition, the perfect state to take a crap. I don't know if I figured it out 100% to a science, but I feel like I know exactly what foods I'm allowed to eat and what foods I'm not allowed to eat, so that I can take a proper shit and not feel like I need to take a shit while I'm out there running. There have been instances where I almost shat myself, and you're just there standing, clenching your butt cheeks as hard as you can, like, fuck, don't come out. And then the urge goes away. It's like, okay, I can go find somewhere. You know, either run to a gas station if there's one nearby, or like I said, you find a porta potty. Thankfully, to this day, I haven't had to take a shit behind the bush. But I've come really close. And honestly, that's like the fun part of running, you know? It's like survival mode. Let me put some lights up here. It is survival. I think I'm gonna have to cut down some trees so I can just make some charcoal. Because I found iron. Ooh, what's this? Is there a light down there? Ooh. What is this? I always find cool little things here. And so yeah, I want to get back into it. I always say that every time I race, like, oh yeah, here's my chance to get back into it. My next goal in running is to run 75 miles, and there is a local race in Tucson. Actually, it's south of Tucson, near Sonoyta. They do, it's called the Old Pueblo 50, and it's a 25-mile loop. And the idea is that you run the loop twice. That race, what did I do? That race I ran one loop. It was a 20, so I signed up for the 25 miler for that race. Ended up being a full marathon, but they just, you know, round down just to make it sound attractive. And so the next goal is I want to run a 50-mile race, then 70 miles to increase my mileage. Ooh, what's over there? It's like a... Okay, I need to get a sword or something. So I can train that one. The Tucson Marathon's coming up in December. They have a 50K option. I have ran the 50K option one time. I did the marathon one time, and then I did the relay. One time. So I've done that race 3 times in different varieties. I don't think, no, they have a half marathon option. I haven't done that one, but it follows the same route. They just started at a earlier spot, or later spot, I should say. Running is freaking fun, man. I'm gonna tell you that. It's one of the best sports I've ever been a part of. The running community, they're dope as shit, because we are all suffering together, especially the fast 5K, 10K distances. Those are whatever, you know, you just see a bunch of young cross-country kids dominating the tracks, you know. They're still young and thin, and the only thing they have to learn how to do is breathe and not die, hydrate, all that stuff, you know. But I realized that the real sport is actually, you know what? I don't want to call it a fake sport for 5Ks. Or those are still fine. It's still really important to work on your speed, and those 5K distances allow you to do that. Work on your speed, and it increases your cardiovascular system. It improves it. You know, you feel conditioned and all that stuff. So those are still very important. My preference are the long ultra marathon races, because it's funny, but I mean, you're still gonna see young folks, no doubt about it, but you see a lot of older people in there. And these people, like, you can kind of tell, like, they've ran for a long time, and they're not in there for speed. They're in there for endurance. They're just testing themselves. How long can I go? And that's very special. Like, it's a way to tell yourself, if I needed to escape, run away, if I needed to be part of a long journey, whatever the scenario may be, I can still get it done. And a lot of these people don't look like they're fit. It's kind of interesting. Like, they're just regular bobs and lady bobs. These are just regular people out there grinding away. And that is such a beautiful thing to see. And I mean, you see a lot of crazy things during these runs. You know, you see people fall. I've fallen myself many times. And I've seen people fall many times. I've seen people get bloodied, their knees, their hands. Actually, today I saw blood on this guy's face. I think he fell and hit his face, but he kept going, and that's part of the fun. I mean, they don't give up. Just because you had a fall and now you're bleeding and you're in pain doesn't mean you end right there. You just keep going. It's such a beautiful thing to experience. And of course, we try and help each other out. It's like no man left behind type of thing. Especially during the long races, you really do have time to spare and be like, yeah, of course I'm going to help you out. Like, it's not because I'm so concerned about reaching a certain time or whatever, you know? Go lay down, puppy. Okay. Take my temperature. Is the battery dead? Let me see. Okay. You're at 96 degrees. You are good. Let's put your hair in the way. Let me see. My son brought the thermometer. He wanted me to check his temperature. And then I checked my temp. We're both good. No signs of COVID. Yippee. COVID, that's a weird one, isn't it? Because we went through like 4 freaking years. No, it's more like 2 to 3 years just constantly testing each other, wearing masks, talking to each other about what makes you feel better, and the scientific community, or so we believe they were, scientific community, kept pushing the vaccine. Other people were like, hey, this also works, but the scientific community would get like pissed off. No, only thing that works is the vaccine. No one was promoting vitamin D. The freak.
Mama, today, let's.
Yes, puppy. Trying to survive here, puppy. I'm getting demolished. Whoops. Jeez, I'm gonna die. Anyway, why did I start talking about COVID? I already forgot. All right, let's talk a little bit about football. But yeah, I went for a race. I ran. It was everything I hoped for and more. And I'm gonna really try and make it my goal to sign up for the Tucson Marathon. I want to run a standard marathon. I want to see if I can get it maybe at 4 hours and 15 minutes or even 4 hours. That would be so cool. But I'm not going to be disappointed. My fastest time I think is like 4:33 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Thank you, puppy. So as long as I can run it before that, I think I'm good. I'm happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Oh man, did I lose my way? I think I lost my way. Now I gotta backtrack by removing some of these things. If you're happy and you know... Oh, here we go. Clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. Okay, we're going up because I'm gonna run out of food and I need to get animals to eat. Okay, let me switch my screen over here, turn this thing off. Political commercials. All right, it's a Patriots-Jets game. I did get to rewatch the game when I came back from out of town, and yeah, the Patriots suck. Aaron Rodgers looked good. Breece Hall looked good. Braylon Allen looked good. Our defense, I'm still a little concerned about. Not sure what's gonna happen. They don't look as strong as they did last year, but I feel like last year there was a lot of pressure on them to do decent because we had no offense. But we got the win. And next we play I think we play the Vikings. Ooh, let me see. Jets. Games. How do I see? Oh no, we play the Broncos. I think we'll win that one. And then we play the Vikings. That one's in London, mate. You want some London cheese? I've got some London shoes. Yeah, I think we're gonna get another win. I mean, we can't get cocky or anything or overconfident. Still want to come in with our best game, but I do feel like we're gonna get that one. The Vikings, though, holy shit! Who did they play today? Who was it? Oh yeah, the Texans. Yeah, I was watching 4 games at once, but that one game I was paying more attention to. And the Vikings defense was awesome. And who was awesome in addition to the Vikings defense? Sam Darnold, drafted by the New York Jets, round 1. Like, pick number 2. I don't think he was the number 1 overall pick. I think it was like number 2 or 3. Damn, where are the animals, yo? And, you know, I always like Sam Darnold. He had some things where he didn't do too good here and there, maybe. But honestly, we had like the worst coach of all time. I already forgot his name because I tried to forget the past. That guy was the worst. I don't think he's coaching. He hasn't coached since. Someone said like he got offered a high school coaching job afterwards. I haven't really checked in to see if that's true. And I don't want to, because I want to forget about him. And honestly, I think our organization never really gave that guy a fair chance. He didn't have proper coaching. And the Jets organization was desperate for wins. So they ended up drafting Zach Wilson after that. It wasn't good. Zach Wilson didn't play out. You know, with our luck, Zach Wilson's going to do awesome, but later, you know. Whatever. And, you know, he should do awesome. I think he's a backup right now for the Broncos. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. You know, I had a lot of faith in him. And, you know, I still feel like he has a shot at redemption. But it won't be with the New York Jets. Because we got Aaron Rodgers. But, you know, that is also another thing that he's, like, so old that I'm also concerned that we don't have any long-term solutions. Now, if we can get a Super Bowl win with Aaron Rodgers, that's like a big ask. But if maybe we can do that, then I'm okay having to wait. And figure out long-term later on. But you know, as much as I want a Super Bowl win, I really just want a playoff win. That's gonna be really what I feel like will help us break that curse, you know. But Sam Darnold, man, 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Looks so freaking good. Sam Darnold. Good for him. I'm rooting for him. I don't like the Vikings. Fuck those guys. But I do like Sam Darnold. So yes, Sam Darnold, I am rooting for you. Except when you play us, I'll be rooting for us. Giants Browns game, I didn't get to catch it, but the Giants finally got a win there. Eagles Saints, I did watch that one. It started off very slow, but I think the Eagles got the win on that. I was watching like the pre-football show on the NFL Network. They interviewed Derek Carr. Man, the lady was like, yeah, you look like you're really having fun out there. And Sam Darnold, not Sam Darnold, Derek. Oh my gosh, I just said his name. What the freak is his name? The eyeliner. Girlfriend always says he has eyeliner. But, you know, it's just his regular face. He was like, you know, this is the first time in a really long time that I'm just having fun, you know? Get the fuck out of here, dude. First time in a really long time. What the fuck ever. Derek Carr. Yeah, and you know what? That might be true. But the old Derek Carr kind of came out there, the one that I knew from the Raiders. Although he did have some really good moments with the Raiders. But towards the end, he was like declining or something. I don't know. The Eagles figured out a way to win. Texans, Vikings. What's next? Broncos, Buccaneers. I didn't watch that one. Broncos win with 26. The guy from the Seahawks is there. He's really fun to watch. Titans, Packers, man. The Packers won without Jordan Love, so you can kind of tell, you know, they're doing all right. Doing okay. Bears, Colts. I didn't watch that one. Colts win by 16-21. Steelers, Chargers is Steelers won. I had it on, but I wasn't really paying attention to that one, so I can't give you my thoughts on that. Dolphins, Seahawks kicked some ass, 3-24. Look at that. Good for the Seahawks. That's the team that I used to love watching with Russell Wilson. That's his quarterback's name. The Russell Wilson era with the that one home. They had two other homeboys. So good. Running back, Marshawn Lynch. And then the other guy's like an analyst now for Amazon or something like that. I think he is. But Seahawks, look at them. Looking really, really good. Lions, Cardinals. 13-20. That was a bummer. There was this one really bad play in that game with the Cardinals where Goff, I think, is playing for him. No, maybe not Goff. I forget. And he throws the ball. His hand gets like smacked or something. I forget how it happened. But the ball goes flying up in the air. Yes, go pee, Papa. Ball goes flying up in the air, and Cardinals intercept it and run it for a touchdown. And the reps like blow the whistles and all that, and like, no, it was the 2-minute warning, so that play was no good. They did multiple replays and they snapped it. It was in play before the 2-minute warning. But I don't know, like I guess they can't be reviewed or something. I don't know what the rules are around that. It's kind of weird. But they took back the touchdown. That sucked. And I feel like that was the moment when the Cardinals started to like fall apart a little bit. And Kyler Murray was doing all these goofy shit. Not sure what he was doing, but I felt like it brought the team's confidence down. So that's that. Ravens, Cowboys. Oh, that was another good one. Ravens were up by like 21 points to 0, I think it was originally. And then at the end, the Cowboys caught up. I was actually surprised. Like, wow, that's impressive. It's pretty good. But the Ravens still managed to win. I love watching Lamar Jackson. That guy is so fun to watch. Really is. But you know what makes like me feel really good about it, and it's probably the same reason why everyone doesn't like the Cowboys. Is because of their owner, Jerry Jones. This guy signed the biggest like NFL contract, highest paid player in his team, and ever since they've been losing. You know, nothing against their quarterback, but it just feels good, you know, to see that old man lose. This guy, when I was out of state, was like one guy I was talking to about, we talked briefly about football, was saying that Jerry Jones has like fired people himself, fired players, gets a kick out of it. I'm like, what? Can't you like just let your coaching staff do the coaching? Do you need to be involved that way? I mean, is that necessary? I don't know if this is recent or back in the day, or, you know, but it's not a good look, if you ask me. Okay. I think I have some coal. All right. Chiefs and Falcons. That's the game we just finished. 22-17. Yeah, I didn't know the Falcons were good this year. I kind of not been paying attention to them. They were looking pretty good. So yeah, naturally I was cheering for them. No one likes the Chiefs now. They're like the new Patriots, you know. I do want to get to a point where no one likes the Jets, you know, because we're so damn good. Like, is that possible? Ooh, gold. This is my definition of gold right now, is when you have enough coal to get your rocks burning. All right, let me get this. I found some over there. tomorrow we got a double Monday night header. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do I get out of work early? I haven't checked my schedule at work yet to see what I have going on. Hopefully it's not a big event day. I should probably do that after this. Yeah, look at all this coal. Hell yeah. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. It was a good week for football. It really was. Good week. Good week. All right, what else happened this week? Oh my gosh. When was it? On Tuesday? That's the day I was flying. My phone is off. Get to my destination. Turn on the phone. I got a news pop-up alert that pagers started going off in Lebanon. They started blowing up. Thousands of pagers started blowing up. Leader of Hamas or Hezbollah, or I don't know, started to condemn Israel. I'm like, whoa, quick assumptions there, buddy. Can we just give it a moment here to digest? But the way, I guess, so I read into the article from the New York Times, so I'm not reading just some whatever. I try to read as much as I can from the New York Times, even though they can be biased sometimes, but they are the news organization that kind of does really good research, or they do the most research they can and keep things objective as much as they can. But they don't always get it right. Anyway, all right. So pagers were ordered from Taiwan, intercepted supposedly by Israel. Oh, and actually by this time, this article I think did come out like on Wednesday. So first it's the news that pagers are going off, and then on Wednesday it was the analysis from the New York Times, and New York Times did blame Israel by that point. Some secret sources or some shit like that. And story goes that they intercepted all these pagers from Taiwan. They disassembled the pagers and attached an explosive device on the battery, programmed it so that when you text a certain phone number to it or send a page, that it blows up. And I guess the message was something like, I guess it came from a phone number that made it seem like their leaders were sending them a message. I don't know what the message was. I don't even know if you can send messages. I guess you can, right? But the reason Lebanon was using these pages was because Israel was intercepting a lot of cell data communications. So they had to figure out a different way for communicating internally with their groups, with Hamas. And they did. They got the pagers, and that's what was going on. So Israel sends the magic phone number to the pager, and boom, shit goes wild. Thousands injured. A ton of people passed away. A ton of people died. I think that's still rising. And then shortly after that, maybe like on Thursday, I think it was, they started dropping bombs. Hezbollah started attacking Israel too. Although it doesn't sound, or I haven't heard anyway, any casualties from that end. So it's just sad war, you know? This all started October 7th last year. I remember it, October 7th distinctly because it's my son's birthday. And there's a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to go in there. The Palestine people started paragliding into Israel. I mean, I think you guys know the story, but they kind of reinitiated the war in the Middle East. I felt like things were okay for the most part. Yeah, they had disputes about whose land was who, but once they went in and started attacking Israel, that's when shit got messy. Israel started defending themselves, and then the huge occupation of Palestine started happening. And I mean, it's nasty on both sides because Palestine leaders were kidnapping and raping Jewish people, and the Jewish people were like, nah, fuck that. So they went in, started bombing, flattening everything out. Huge humanitarian crisis happening over in Palestine. And it's really like the innocent that suffer, right? It always is. There's never a... It's never the intended targets. Well, I guess it is, but it's always the innocent. But I don't think it's gonna end. Israel feels like they have the full right here to defend themselves and be on the offense now. So I don't know. I honestly don't know how to end. Like, I don't know what the policy is, what the rules are. I don't know who starts negotiations. I have no clue whatsoever, but a lot of innocent people are dying. And that's the worst part. That's the crappiest part about war. That's where we're at. So what are the next steps? Like, what else is gonna blow up? Who else is going to get attacked? And when is the United States going to do something? Right now, I mean, we're supporting Israel with weapons and shit like that. But it's starting to feel like eventually we're going to be out there on the ground. I mean, it really does feel like World War III is right around the corner. It's pretty sad. We're in the midst of war. And then I won't be able to record my podcast anymore because... You know, that's what happens when you're like in a peaceful state. You get to do things that are fun, right? You get to go out, have a drink, have a meal. You get to do fun things like record a podcast. You get to enjoy life, go watch a movie. New Beetlejuice is out. Oh, did you guys check out the show Penguin? I saw it yesterday, last night. It was so good. It's like a Sopranos DC show. It's actually really freaking good. I mean, very well written. It's only one episode, of course, but it's very well written. A lot of little Easter eggs. Story continues from Batman, the movie, or the Batman. I don't know what the official name is, but I recommend y'all watch it. But if there's war, you won't be able to watch it, because now you have to worry about staying safe. Like if we get attacked here in the United States, I mean, we did get attacked on 9/11, and that was a huge shock for us, because we thought, like, that's it, you know, I think we're good. Maybe there was major intelligence failings on that part. Maybe it was intentional. Not a conspiracy theorist, by all means. Although, I do love a good conspiracy. I just like to try and stay objective as much as I can, if I can. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. I don't feel like they have any sort of plan to end war. I really don't. And I think it's kind of shocking, because I always thought the Democratic Party was the party of peace. They didn't want war. Especially during the Bush era. The Republicans were like super war heavy. Dick Cheney was war heavy. Starting conflicts for no reason. And Obama wasn't a peaceful guy himself. Trump came into power, and then boom, there was no escalations. Maybe little minor things here and there. But then Joe Biden came into power, and we just restarted the whole thing. Like, okay, I guess this is what we do. And actually, when you think about it, there was war under Clinton too. I remember that. Remember, my mom sat us down at the table. She's like, there's a new conflict, new war starting. I'm like, what? We're at war? I was confused, right? Thinking like we're gonna get like bombs and stuff near our little trailer. But it was more like the Yugoslavia was getting attacked, who are now considered the Czech Republic, I think is what it is. And that was a conflict under a democratic system. So it was both. I mean, Bush era, definitely Republican, right? But I remember so much, like the Bush was president while I was in high school. And so many Democrats were upset about it, a lot of liberals. And I think it was rightfully so. I was kind of in the same boat. I just still didn't understand too much of it. But I knew that war was not good. And so I kind of aligned with the Democratic Party for that sense, anti-war party. I didn't align with other values that they had, like they were huge on atheism and shit like that. Like, what the fuck, dude? Can you just be normal? They also tend to be vegan at the time, right? They were vegans, they were anti-vaxxers, they were hippies, they didn't want to work, they wanted to be supported by a social system. They were huge into social programs. LGBTQ community wanted to be recognized. They wanted abortion. A bunch of social issues. Really, that's what the Democratic Party is. It's a party for social issues, not a party for economic issues. And that was how I knew the Democrats. But when I zoom back even more, I mean, and days just go by, and new people are in power, new leadership, things like that. They're all war hungry. I don't know how the heck, if Kamala wins, she's going to be able to control this sort of conflict that we have internationally. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. I do think Trump got a little lucky when he was in power, mainly because people thought he was crazy. But maybe you need a little bit of crazy, you know? You see the commercials about him tending to the rich, right? He's gonna lower the taxes for the rich and shit like that. And I was telling my girlfriend, like, you know what? That's probably true. He probably will raise or lower taxes for the rich. I have no doubt about it. But you know what's also true is that things were fairly affordable. So does that mean that by raising the rich or lowering the taxes for the rich, that we also get to have a comfortable life ourselves? I don't know how that works. I'm not an economist, but it's economy wise, I think we were pretty darn good with Trump. Again, I don't know about foreign policy or economics. I just know how I lived, right? Rates were down. Excuse me. Things were affordable. You don't really think about those things. You kind of take those things for granted. But I honestly don't have any faith that Kamala is going to be able to get life back to where we once were. And you know what? Maybe that was like a fake good economy too. Maybe we're still super in debt and all that. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, freaking pagers, man. I mean, it really does take you gotta be a super creative person to think about how you want to attack an enemy, right? And that right there is pretty darn creative, if you ask me. Not executed very well. I did hear children died in that as well. That sucks. Counter argument was that Hamas or Hezbollah leaders, I don't know the difference, to be honest with you, were using humans as shields to protect themselves and stuff like that. And the argument was that, well, the leaders still had to go, right? So it's what I heard was, yeah, we had to kill the innocent in order for this operation to be successful. That's so evil, man. I mean, come on. That is evil as fuck. Especially because I believe in God, right? And God tells you to be a good person, be genuine, be loving, love your neighbor, all that stuff. The Jewish people will also believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus Christ, but still believe in God. But when you think about it, they believe in the angry God, right? The Old Testament God. Isn't that crazy? The Jewish people believe in the Old Testament God. So naturally, they're going to be leaning towards the angry version of God. And I mean, I haven't read the Bible to its entirety. I think I got like, where the freak did I stop? I read up until the end of the book of Moses. And it wasn't Moses. It was, it means travel. Genesis, they're not numerous, Jeez, it's such a good book too because it has my favorite Bible story. Let me check it out. Bible books. Exodus. Actually, I think I read Leviticus and Numbers. I didn't read Deuteronomy. But Exodus has such a good book. It has the story of Joseph. My favorite Bible story. My mom would read it to me as a little kid. Such a good story where the brothers sell out their own brother because he's like the golden child or whatever. Man, I remember I was sitting on my mom's lap. She had it was like a picture Bible book, and she would read me the story. And later on, I saw movies and got more description about the story and all this and all that. And I need more. And they and I loved it, man. I remember at the last, spoiler alert for those who haven't read the Bible, the last part of the story shows that Joseph is there waiting in Egypt for his family to come. He hadn't seen his dad in I don't know how many years. But he gets reunited with his dad, and that made me emotional. Like, I started tearing up. You know, because your family sells you out, your brother sells you out to slaves, and they broke their dad's heart. You know, he was devastated. I just couldn't believe. I mean, I have boys myself, and to think if one of my boys were to sell out one of their brothers, you know, I don't know what to feel, you know. I would be devastated. And to top it off, I do have a son named Joseph. So it's like even more hurtful. But hopefully it doesn't come to that point, you know. You try and teach the boys love and care for each other and bros. You know, you're a bro. Protect each other. All that good stuff. But I couldn't imagine if that were to happen, you know. I don't know what I would do. I would go crazy. So I kind of feel what the Joseph's dad was going through, right? Oh, look at that. So there's really good stories in the Old Testament about love and stuff like that, but there are also very harsh stories about the wrath of God, right? And it's Jesus in the New Testament where he kind of brings more of the loving side of God, I guess. In the New Testament. And the Jewish people don't believe in Jesus. So do they have much love? I mean, I know they're trying to protect what they have, right? They're supposedly the promised land, Israel. It was promised to them by God. But I would be curious to hear God's opinion about what's going on right now and the things that are happening. I have a hard time imagining that God would be okay with that. Because I think these Muslim folks, they also believe in God. Their version of God, of course. But essentially, I think what's happening is that we're all like believing in the same deity, but because our version is different than their version, there's disagreements, and then there's wars. Jeez, man, that's so hard to grasp around, like to think that you can justify something because God told you so. It would be cool to have a guest of God on a podcast, just ask him questions. I would probably stay up for days just asking him questions, getting his thoughts. It'd be like I wonder how long the longest podcast has ever been. But that's just things I would want to ask God. His opinions, what's right, what's wrong, what are your thoughts on this, what are your thoughts on that? I don't know, man. My version of God is a loving God, not God that says, yeah, it's cool, you can bomb your neighbors, that's cool. I don't think that's God. But there are people out there in this earth that do believe in that. And we live in that situation right now. Man, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to call it a night. Okay, I need a top 10. I can either do what would you ask God, top 10 questions. Maybe I'll leave that for another day because I don't know if I want to ask him all these philosophical things. But you know what? You know what's a good top 10? As I run away from these skeletons shooting me up. A good top 10 list is top 10 guests to have on your podcast. Whether they're real, fake, dead, or alive. What would be your top 10 guests on a podcast? I haven't had guests yet, but I do want to have people to talk to. And pick their minds and stuff like that. Alright, top 10 guests on a podcast. Going at number 10. So 10 is going to be... You know what? I would love to have Joe Rogan. I don't know. I don't think he's a guest in many podcasts, actually, now that I think about it. Like, that's kind of rare. I think he's been on, like, the Alex Jones show and stuff like that. But he's kind of a hard guy to get, I realize. I'm sure a lot of people are like, hey, come on my podcast. Alright. Number 9 would be Donald Trump. And Kamala Harris. Yeah. If they both agree to the Land of Bentosia with Lord BENTOS show. Would be insane. Tucker Carlson would be my next one. Tucker Carlson with Elon Musk. That would be kind of cool. Number 7. You know, I would like to help my mom. As a guest, that would be kind of cool. Just ask her questions about her childhood. I mean, I've asked her before, but you know, she's kind of religious, you know, so sometimes I ask her like questions that are not like in her belief system, and it riles her up. I feel like I can get to my mom pretty good. Oh, I think this is like my first floor, by the way. What do you guys think of the first floor of the tower? Looks good. I need to need to finish it and stuff, but let me put some rocks in here. Okay. Number 6, definitely want to have my girlfriend on one day. Girlfriend. Just pick her brain. I pick her brain all the time. But not in a recording setting, so that would be kind of cool. Number 5. Oh, you know what? If I could get a hold of Miss Romero. Oh, yeah, Miss Romero. My ESL teacher back in 1st, 2nd grade. Number 4 podcast guest would probably be... Who's really interesting that I kind of want to hear more from? Oh, you know what? I would like to have my bros on. It'll probably have to be through Zoom or something. I don't know how we would do it in person, but we could figure it out. My bros. We did another podcast called The Podcastigators a while back, and that was really fun. I want to do that again. Coming in at number 3, I would have oh yeah, George W. Bush. I think he's a super rad guy. I would ask him about how he cured AIDS and shit. Coming in at number 2 would be all my boys, but as adults. So if I'm still recording this 16 years from now, it'd be super cool to have them all on the show. And coming in at number 1, God. All right, we did it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll check in with you guys next week. See how we're doing. See how the football games are going. And we'll talk again later. All right. Bye.